going on, guys? It's Nez from the Ozark School of Gunfighting. Today's video is going to be on zeroing your red dot. I've done this many times before and I have my own process. There's different ways to do it. Depending on what you're going to be setting your gun up for, depends on what you want to set your zero at. For me, I'm going to start at 25 yards and work my way out to 100. That's due to the red dot that I'm running. It is a hollow sun with an ACSS Raptor reticle in it, which means it has a chevron with a BDC dot reticle below it. So when I throw my magnifier on it, I can shoot out to 400 to 500, 600 yards pretty accurately with this. But for now, I like to keep it right at 100 yards zero because that follows the actual BDC reticle that this is designed for. If I were running just a straight red dot that didn't have anything else in it besides just the dot, I'd zero it for 50 yards. That's where I comfortably feel the need for CQB and to take it out to the distance you need to with minimal holdovers and minimal adjustments. It's pretty easy to do. That's just something that is a shooter preference and something you have to work on. If you are going to be doing a low variable power optic or a different optic that has zoom or magnification, you are going to set your rifle up a completely different way, and the zero process is going to be 100% different than this, okay? We'll get on that in another video. So today, we're gonna do this. You gotta make sure you have the tools you need with you. I got the tools I need to mount this, to adjust it. Got my trusty rangefinder to make sure I know where I'm shooting at. Got some good 62 grain ammo. I prefer to run 62 grain over 55 grain for target plinking, and I prefer to run anything heavier than 62 grain or above for combat rounds as well. It's just my preference. I've had more success with the way it runs through the rifle, with the timing of it, when I'm running suppressed or unsuppressed, with the accuracy of it, and the kinetic foot power. So today we're doing this on my 10.5 inch PDW, and we're going to set this up at 25 and we're going to work our way through it. You need to make sure that you have a clean piece of paper. I'm using steel. I got a fresh piece of steel out there that I'm going to try and show you guys. What you want to make sure you do, for me personally, you're never going to be proned out at 25 yards, set up with bags, getting ready to take that perfect shot. So for me, for the first 25 and 50 yards, I usually like to do it standing. I do it from a combat stance, and I do that because in those scenarios, 50 yards on in, most of the time, unless you're around a piece of cover or a barricade or something you can mount your rifle up against for extra stability, you got to make that shot. So that's what we're going to do here. Once we get back to 100 yards, I brought some bags out with me. We're going to go ahead and set those bags up and make sure we get some really good accurate shots to make sure that when we do use a magnifier and we take the BDC reticle out to 200, 400, 600 yards, that it is accurate when it comes to the measurements in here. That's very, very important. Like I said, that's specifically for this reticle. If you have a red dot, you can set up however you want, and all of this is shooter preference. This is just my process of how I do it. Let me get my ear pro in, get this thing loaded up, move the camera, and we're gonna shoot a few rounds and see how far off we are and what kind of adjustments we gotta make. Stand by. Something else that's really important about your reticle is you need to make sure that you have your brightness down to where it's low enough to where you can still see the reticle, but you don't want to have a starburst effect. You don't want to have it be covering up what you're trying to hit. I like to do mine on almost the lowest thing to where I can hardly see the reticle. I've noticed that gives me the most accurate shot placement. All right, as you can see, we need to come up. You're gonna go ahead and make your rifle safe, unload, show clear, rifle's clear. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make some adjustments. What's really cool about red dots is a lot of them have these turret caps that have these little nipples on the end of them. And with these nipples, you can actually use these to move the reticle itself. Now the goal here is to get within a few inches of where I'm aiming. This does not need to be super precise. When I get back to 50, I'm gonna make sure that I'm still on and I'm good to go. I'm gonna make it just a little bit more precise. And then when I get back to 100, that's where I'm really gonna take my time getting it on where it needs to be. Some people like to take their caps off and leave them off and put them in their pocket. I prefer to put them back on the rifle. Just that way I don't forget about it. Me and my TBI have a hard time remembering those little things sometimes. All right, let's throw some more ammo in here. See how the adjustments went, and keep moving on with the process. As you can see, we are really close to where we need to be. So we're gonna go ahead and move back to the 50-yard line. Okay, so here we are 50 yards out. That's gonna be our target this time. We're gonna make it just a little bit more accurate from the 25 to the 50. I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple shots freehand, make sure we're good to go, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set that thing on the barricade and get it dialed into within where it needs to go. And then we're gonna be back to 100. Workspace. All right. So we are just a little bit low right of where we need to be. That is not bad at all. I'm pretty excited about that. So we're gonna make a quick adjustment and see if we can knock that spinner out. If you are more than, I would say, 4 inches out from where your point of aim, point of impact is, I would go ahead and make bold adjustments. If you're inside within 2 inches, it's easier to go ahead and do those based off your measurements, and you can really fine tune those. If you go a little bit over, that's totally okay to come back. Just make sure you come back a little bit at a time. Come back to the left. All right. Got an adjustment made. Let's see how it does. That's a hit. All right. Go ahead and set this thing up here and make sure we're good to go. Have a couple confirmation shots. I'm going to go ahead and use my C-clamp on this barricade here. That's a spinner on the head. All right, so stand by. All right, hope you guys can see that little yellow spinner. All right, we're C-clamped up, we're using the wall, putting pressure against the wall. We've got a good stance here. Hit, going to the center, hit, going to the head. Oh, that's a bad shot. Hit, back to the outside, hit, back to the head. Oh, that's a bad shot. All right, I'd say that we're on for 50. Had a couple bad shots there. That was me, 100%. Not making a good trigger pull. Happens once in a while. We're not all perfect. And so I'm out here making reps every single day, doing what I need to do to make sure that I'm continuing to get better so I can continue to help you guys get better. All right, guys. Here we are, 100 yards out. I've got my Armageddon shooter bag set up. I've got a Shooter Rugi's bang bag. This thing's freaking phenomenal. It's weird, you know, you're supposed to use them with precision rifles, bolt guns, and things like that, but the way the QD mount goes on, it fits on this PDW really well, and I can actually suck it right here underneath my shoulder and use it such as a larger buttstock. It's pretty sweet how it works. All right, so we're gonna see where we're at out here at 100 yards. We're gonna get this thing dialed in. That way we can really take advantage of the BDC reticle. So stand by and let's see where we're at. around in the chamber increases velocity by 100%. We're pretty close to being on. We're going to take a headshot. Move this camera real quick. All right, so we have a human silhouette and a dueling tree. Oops, sorry for the issues with the adjustment there. All right, so our goal here is we're going to take a headshot on this photo on the left and see where we're at. I'm gonna aim for the center of the cranial ocular, kind of where the bridge of the nose meets the eyebrows. And if that's pretty close hit, we're gonna go ahead and shoot the plates on the right on the dueling tree. So let's see where we're at. We got a hit, but I'm not sure where it's at. Should have brought my binos up. They're down there in my gun bag. Looks like we're a little high and right. Let's shoot the plates and see how we do. We'll go make an adjustment here in a sec. All right. Top right plate. Bottom, go down left. Third one on the right. All right, we're here at 100 yards. We're gonna see if we can get a cranial ocular shot. Let's see how close we are. We should be pretty close here. Checking on the binos. Oh yeah. All right. Shoot the dueling tree, make sure we're still good to go. A couple confirmation shots. Hit. All right, seems good to go. See if we can knock out that center spinner on the right hand side. Oh yeah. Again. Beautiful. There it is sticking out. All right. I cannot see the head spinner, so we're not going to go for that. All right, last thing we're going to do, I think I have enough ammo to shoot those plates down real quick. Whoops, sorry about that. See if we can knock those out. I still got ammo. Sweet. Now we're dry. All right, there you have it. We have successfully gone through the process of zeroing a red dot. Once again, expedited version. Mount the red dot, it doesn't matter where. It's going to have unlimited eye relief, so you're not going to get the scope shadow like you do with a variable powered zoom scope. Start at 25 yards, not 100. Start at 25 yards, make sure you get close. Move back to 50, make sure you get closer. Move back to 100, get that thing dead on. The importance of having a battle rifle and a pistol that's zeroed properly is so you can make those well-aimed shots. I know I talked about in my last video, not hitting exactly what you need to hit or aiming for. And what I meant by that is if you have to use a weapon to defend yourself, you don't need to put that dot on their left ventricle and hold it there. You don't need to aim for the bottom chamber of the heart and hold it there. No, our goal is to put as many rounds in the upper thoracic accurately, in the cranial ocular accurately, and in the pelvic girdle accurately as quickly as possible. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. I hope you guys learned something through this process. Come out and train with me. I'm still learning how to talk to a camera. I'm really not a huge fan of this whole phone situation, but we're learning. Hit that like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Stay safe.